Hey everyone, welcome back to Work on a Friday. This is my week 9 summary video. It's been another busy week working on my projects, experimenting with new ideas, and trying to move things forward. So let's have a look at all the things that I've been up to this week. So earlier this week, I started working on a website for somebody who wanted to have their own portfolio page for their artwork. They actually offered me money to work on this project, which is cool, but I didn't really ask for money up front. Instead, I said, instead of paying me up front, maybe if we sell something through your website, you could give me a small cut of what you earn from that. My reasoning for that is actually pretty simple. I'm still in the process of learning, so I'm not quite comfortable charging for that service yet. But even though my reasoning is simple, I'm still sitting here wondering, was that the right decision? Should I have charged anyway? What do you guys think? And you know, this actually got me thinking even further. It got me thinking about what it means to actually create while you're still learning. I think a lot of people wait until they're ready to put their work out there. But if I have waited with what I'm doing now, that means I wouldn't have any videos out there before now, which is week 9. And still, I don't really feel ready for doing what I'm doing. I'm learning as I'm going in this process, and sometimes that means I'm undercharging or taking the long way around. But I think that's part of the learning process. Being ready isn't the finish line. Being ready is something you practice by doing. So my notebook arrived from my Redbubble store. Here it is. I got it here in this fancy box, and we're actually going to do a unboxing of it now. Let's see if I can open this. Took it about 10 days to arrive, but now it's here. I haven't received any letters or additional costs for taxes or shipping, so crossing my fingers that's not going to happen. And here we go. Find your thing, that's fine. Oh. My nice little notebook. Quality feels good. You got the typical notebook pages, nothing special. But it is what you would expect in a notebook, right? So yeah, I kind of like this design here, which is why I put it on the notebook, and which is why I ordered it for myself, so that's cool. Good delivery, good quality, fair price to get a design that I want on a notebook like this. There are no other notebooks like this one, and that's, I think, kind of exciting to me. So yeah, thanks for watching that little unboxing. I'm going to be using this notebook to write down my ideas that has to do with this project, just so I remember them for when I make these videos. Because it's not always easy to remember what I want to talk about and what's happened throughout the week, because I'm quite busy with the projects that I'm working on and other things. So I think this could be handy to have on my desk, so I can just write down whenever I get a thought and something that I want to talk about in these videos. There's something about just writing things down that, again, it's easier to remember because I can just go back and read it, but it helps me stay organized. So last week I had this idea of building this goal tracker website app, and that's something that I've been working on this week as well. I got a working, very simple goal creation form, but it's something that I'm trying to refine and something that I want to make more interactive with the user, to make it more interesting, make it feel a little bit more modern. And I'm also trying to work out how I want the layout to be. But right now I'm able to create a goal, I'm able to edit my goal and delete my goal, and I'm also able to track progress towards the goal. There's also a feature on there where you can jot down any reflections or thoughts that you have when you've worked towards that goal. So it's all in the works, and I can show you what it looks like right now. To get started with the coding, I've used AI quite a bit to speed up the process. Instead of sitting there writing every single line myself, I can tell AI to, hey, I want an HTML file with a form to create a goal, and then I also want JavaScript to generate a card with the goal on it so I can see it once it's created. So these are the types of prompts that I'm using to get the AI to write me a few lines of code. Then I review the code and I make sure that it's working and I make sure that it's what I want it to be. But I've got to ask, do I have any front-end designers watching these videos? Because my biggest struggle is getting the website to look like the way that I envision the website to be. I know I'll get there, it's just going to take some time, but if you want to collaborate on this project, or if you have any ideas or tools that could help me, please let me know and reach out. So I'd say this past Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I spent quite a lot of time working on developing this app and the art gallery page website. And the further I get into the projects, the more complicated it becomes using AI tools. If you've ever worked with AI, you're going to recognize the problem I'm about to share with you now. Sometimes it just gives you something that you didn't even ask for, or it changes the code that you've written previously. Yeah, they say they're making improvements to all the AI tools, but if you're like me and using the free AI tools, we're probably a couple generations back. And I'd say that the model that I'm currently on definitely hallucinates quite a bit still. Or it doesn't keep track of what it's already done. So you're continuously having to give it very specific instructions and make sure it doesn't mess up what you've already created. So you keep going back and forth between the two different versions. That's not very helpful, definitely not time effective. But again, even with these quirks, I'd say the AI tools that are out there are very helpful to speed up the process. And I really do appreciate how quickly the AI is evolving. I keep wondering where it's going to be in 5 years, or even 10 years. I just want to make sure that I'm in a good position for whatever the next big wave looks like. Also, aside from these two other web development projects that I'm working on, along with this experiment of how to make money online, I think all of it sort of ties together. But I was thinking of this third app idea, I suppose, a fun little roast battling app. Imagine this. You log into the app, you can invite another friend by email or username, and you and your friend enter a quote or a prompt or an image of you, and you ask the AI or the app to roast whatever you've uploaded to the app. It could be a funny roast, it could be a sweet roast, it could be a rude roast or whatever, but it would be AI generated based on what you upload to the application. And with this battle, to figure out who won, yeah, you can figure out internally, but my idea is that you would share this roast with everyone else who's on the app, or you can share it to any other social media platform and you can have people vote on whose roast was better. And I think this could be a fun, interactive app that anyone could use. But the good thing about it is that one person is not enough for the application. That one person will have to invite somebody else. And guess what? To figure out who wins, again, you can do it internally if you wanted to, but you need other people to vote on your roast. So I think there's a fun little competition to it. I think it could be a fun integration with AI, and I think that could connect people as well. Do you think that would be a fun app to use, or would it just be complete chaos? Let me know what you think. After using AI for a while, and after listening to how everyone else is using AI, the tool is starting to sound like a very enthusiastic intern who is just ready to shoot at every opportunity they have to provide an answer or provide a suggestion for what somebody might do next. It's fast, it's confident, but sometimes they just get everything completely wrong. But I also believe that's part of the process too. Learning how to guide it, learning how to prompt it and make it work with me instead of fighting against it. There is a good thing, and that is even when it does give me answers that I'm not quite looking for, some of these answers can still be very useful, and it could be thoughts that I haven't had myself yet. So it sparks that creativity as well. It's something that you have to learn. It's something that you have to balance out, making sure that, yeah, AI is a great tool to use, but make sure that it doesn't steer all your creative energy. You got to make sure to balance it out with your own thoughts and making sure you're still going in the direction that you want to. So yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're all about developing these websites and these ideas and trying to bring them to life. I've been putting in at least an hour a day, which is sort of my rule. I don't want to try and spend too much time on my projects, but once I get going, I can't really stop. So if my hour starts at 9 o'clock in the evening, I catch myself at right around 11 or 12 and just making sure that at some point I go to bed so I can wake up and be functional the next day. My biggest issue isn't the time that I'm spending or the time that I don't have or the time that I wish I had. The problem is still like with the websites. How can I get the design to be what I want it to be? I would really appreciate it if you would take the time to check out my work on a Friday website. There's a contact form on the website, which I want you to use. And in the contact form, let me know what you like about the website. Let me know what you don't like. Any feedback is good feedback at this point. So be part of my journey, be part of my experiment. And I want you to be part of it because I want to improve it, right? I want to make it the best that it can be for both of us. On my website, you can also find a link to my Redbubble store where I sell the products and the designs that I create. And the Redbubble store is basically my main way of making money right now. I don't have any other monetization income streams at the moment, but that's what I'm building towards. And what I'm building towards is, for example, the goal-based app that I want to get out there and try to monetize. If you saw last week's video, you know that I'm planning a tier-based payment system for this app. There's going to be a free tier, there's going to be a paid tier, and there's going to be a premium tier. Hopefully by the end of next week, I'll have a version of the website where I can invite you in and let you try it so I can gather some feedback on that as well. Something I've been thinking a lot about today is the balance between passion and money. I like what I'm doing. Building websites is a lot like building Legos, and I absolutely loved that when I was younger. You get the directions and you follow them step by step, and at one point you'll make a mistake and you have to go back 3 steps to be able to move forward again. I enjoyed building, I enjoyed learning, but at the same time, I need to be realistic. It's hard not to think about how all of this will be able to sustain itself. But I also don't want the need of money to kill the creativity of building something like this. So right now, it's all about building something that excites me first. And if I find something that's useful and something that you enjoy or appreciate, then money will follow later. But last week I talked about balancing the time that I have and other things, other commitments that I have as well, like time for hobby and time for work. And this week it's more about, okay, how much time am I spending on this and how much money do I want to make? I want them to balance each other out. But at the moment, it's putting in all the work, trying to find something that can sustain itself, and then money will follow. That's the goal. The goal of this is to find ways of making money online. Turn back the time now to Saturday morning, and I received my first piece of feedback. Somebody had watched one of my shorts or reels on Instagram and went to my website and filled out the contact form. And what I realized is this person, I'd say, is probably my biggest fan. my mom. If you see this, thanks for always supporting me. It means a lot. If anyone else wants to help out, leave a comment or give feedback on my websites. Just let me know. Also, if you can't find the website or you can't find the link, you can find it in my bio on YouTube and my bio on Instagram. They both have links to my website, but I can also send it to you if you just drop a comment below. I know I've been asking a lot from you guys, but I really believe that in order for me to be successful, I need your feedback, I need your comments, I need your questions, I need your guidance. Your feedback and your comments and all of that, it's all part of the process. I really want to learn what works and what you guys want. I don't have this secret recipe to make this work. I haven't figured that part out yet. But when I do, you better believe that you guys are the first people I'm going to share it to. I'm going to tell you what works. I'm going to tell you what doesn't. And I'll share exactly how to do it too. Getting feedback reminds me of how important community is when building something like this. It's scary to share unfinished work. It can be embarrassing. But that's where the honest feedback will come from. And that's what I want this Work on a Friday project to be. I want you to be involved in it. I want you to help me with what eventually will become the finished product. The product being this experiment of trying to achieve that Friday feeling every single day, and the experiment grows with your input. So if you've been following along, commenting, or just watching the videos, know that you're part of this experiment too. And I truly appreciate that you're a part of my journey. Speaking of progress, we've passed 60 days in this experiment, and that's crazy to think about. And because we've passed 60 days, that means I can compare my first month with my second month, which is what I wanted to do. If you remember back to the videos that I made around day 40, I said, I'm done comparing week by week. This is taking too much time. Once I have 2 months, I'll start comparing months. But what I learned when I wanted to check my month-by-month stats is that Instagram has no easy way of doing this. It's not giving me the option to customize what I want to look at. But on YouTube, I can view custom date ranges. So I compared my first month with my second month, and the growth is exceptional. It gave me the same kind of feeling that I had when I compared my first week of the experiment with the second week of the experiment. That growth there is really exciting and truly motivating to what I'm doing. So we're going to have a quick look at the results here. For the first month, I had 3,471 views, and month 2 jumped to 7,245 views. That's more than 100% increase in views. My likes on the videos, in the first month I had 46 likes, and in the second month I had 150. That's a 200% increase right there. For comments in my first month on YouTube, I had 4 comments. In my second month on YouTube, I had 12 comments. Another 200% increase in comments. And in terms of subscribers, the first month I gained 7 on YouTube, and then for my second month I gained 8. So that shows me a steady but healthy growth. Now, yes, I understand that these numbers will see a significant increase from month 1 to month 2, but that shows me that something is working. I believe there's still room for improvement, which is good, but I don't think that my percentage increases will look the same as they have now from month 1 to month 2. When it does slow down, that gives me a chance to reflect on what's actually working and what isn't as good as anymore. Where are the changes that I need to make? What are the types of videos that are successful? right? These are the things I can start looking at when the views or the likes or the comments are starting to dwindle down. But for now, it seems to be working. I have steady growth. Yes, some weeks are a bit slower than others, but I think that's just part of life too. I truly don't see an end to this road. As long as I enjoy what I'm doing and I'm motivated to build and to learn, this is something I'm going to keep doing. The goal has always been to achieve that Friday feeling, that feeling of excitement and optimism for the opportunities and the work that's coming next. And that Friday feeling is what's going to make me the money as well that will come once I find something that works. So yeah, that's been my week. Lots of small wins, a few frustrations, and a lot of ideas bouncing back and forth. If you want to follow this experiment and this journey, please subscribe and follow, but also check my websites and my Redbubble store. I'm going to link them both below. And if you've got any feedback or thoughts, please share them below. Comments. I'll answer back. I'll reply to you. We can have a conversation. I'm going to let you know now that I read every single one of them, so they mean a lot to me. That being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.